Oh, hellos. Let's see. Seems like it's working. It's been a while. Live stream still works. Yes, sir. Great. Great. Let's see if I can. That. Okay. So, how is everybody? Hello, Keltus, Amnesty. Yeah, look at that background. Very nice. You can hear the fireworks too, right? Just quietly in the background. Yeah, that's Amnesty Cake, Amnesty City right now. Yeah, you can hear him, but low. Hello Linus, hello Jan, hello Ibrahim, hello Simil Sao, hello Sullivan, Bladio. Yeah, of course, Amnesty, you know what cakes and stuff it is. I don't even know. I just put something in there that was over pretty fast because, as you will see in a moment, this is also the background looping video that I'm using in the game right now. So it had to be fairly short, not to be too big of a file. So anyway, very calming. Yep, let me ruin that. Boom. Instant shock. So, what are we working on today? Well, I don't think I have shown this public, maybe a screenshot somewhere, but I'm, as part of the multiplayer upgrade, I also need to update, or I choose to I need/choose to upgrade the UI too, because first of all, I was on an old version of Doozy UI that had some issue, so I was kind of stuck on a version. I couldn't change some part of the UI, so maybe I could fix that. But anyway, I would like to be on the latest version, which is version 4, and upgrading to that broke everything, so I need to start all over anyway. And I need a lot of new UI for multiplayer. Of course, some kind of new setup. Before, in the previous version, you were just picking, mods, and you were picking a map and then start. But with multiplayer, you need to be able to join, you need to list servers, lobbies, whatever. You need to be able to set some host, most likely a lot of host options, game options, and a lot of stuff like that. So new UI is needed, and I have started out also because I now know more. I've become wiser since I made the previous UI. So I have a better way of doing it now, I think. And so so let me show you what I have done right now, what I have. So let's see what first English dude who pronounced my name correctly. I'm not English, but yes, I can see Kelsa said that too. What did I say? Simmelsour. But it's hard to know with names, because how to pronounce, and I think I always do it wrong. I'm very bad at these names. Yes, Jan, you got a little jump scare there. I'm sorry. Maybe change to... I'm not gonna get into all that Unity pricing update stuff. Not here, because then we will spend the entire... I have approximately 1 hour for the stream today. Then I need to make some dinner. So about an hour. And I don't want to spend the time talking about that right now. Anyway, so this is how the main menu looks right now. Again, you can see placeholders, and it will change a lot. But I kind of like games that have these menus up here. And for instance, for settings, you can see this is just old UI, but my current thought is, and I can change that a million times before you get to this. Obviously, these settings are way too little. We need to have more settings, both game settings, rebind keys, and graphics settings, stuff like that. So I don't know how I'll do the second layer, because settings, I can't show everything here. So typically the UI have some other sub tabs or whatever. So either I put them here or in the side maybe. I'm not... Visually it might look good up here, but I'm kind of using, like I have more space horizontally than vertically, or I don't know how to say that, but I have more space this way because it's a wide screen. Most people have kind of widescreen ratio or resolution. So I'm thinking maybe of putting some sub tabs over here. But I'm playing around with the ideas. But the thing that we are gonna fix today, hopefully, and then maybe we can move on, but at least I wanna fix, because I just got in contact with the Doozy team about how I can fix this. So I'm gonna try that out today. Because the current problem is that, for instance, if I'm on the play tab here, I would like it to stay like this so I can, visually see like a breadcrumb that I'm on the play tab. But as soon as I move over here, it loses this highlighting thing. And the reason for that is that this is actually kind of a button, and it have five different states. And what happens is that there can only be one selected button, and now this is the selected button, but now this is the selected one. So I asked the Doozy UI team, how can I do this? Because I have done my own version of it, but I didn't want to reinvent the wheel if I can use something that they have. And what they told me, as I understood it, is that this is currently working as a button, and that's why I have these 5 states. What I should really do is change this to a UI toggle in their system instead, so it will stay selected even when I'm not actually, as long as I'm on this page. I foresee that might give some other issues by having this hover effect and stuff like that, but let's see. But that's what we are gonna look into today, fixing this. The other tabs is just the old workshop. This UI will also be updated at some point, but I updated it now so it at least works, but it looks as good or as bad as it did before. Settings, again, they should work, most of them, but of course I need to change the UI. But I'm just going over getting the old UI to work and then afterwards fixing it, because upgrading to the latest Doozy broke everything. But as you can see here, when I'm going into let's play the country map here, as you will see when I start that, the UI in-game is not working. The loading screen is also working, but in the game UI, which is the most complex UI in the game, is not working. And I could hook it all up and maybe make it work, and but the problem is that I might. The other ones were fairly easy to make work with the new version, but the game UI have a lot of components and a lot of different stuff, and I want to do it differently. I have the classic example of having some stuff do too much. Rob Lang knows what I'm talking about. And when I built the new player for multiplayer, I don't know what's happened with my voice, but what happened, I knew that. But what I did with the multiplayer is that I changed the way I built the player. So instead of having a few components that did a lot of stuff, I now have a lot of components that do a little stuff. And that's much easier to maintain and make changes to and troubleshoot and all that. So I'm planning of doing the same with the UI. This becomes very technical, but anyway. So you can see I can still walk around, but there is no UI. Yeah, some of the UI show up. Can I open this? Yes, I can, but yeah, this one works. I don't know if you've seen this too, but we have third person now. I can show that. I can even make it day, so it's a little lighter. But yeah, and we have some different characters to choose from built in the game, and then there are some moddables that we are not gonna look at today, or some modders that are in the closed or private beta or whatever you want to call it have been playing around. So already there's a lot of characters, but that's not the goal for today. Yeah, third person view, because now when I had characters, because I have multiplayer, I need characters, so it's more fun to look at each other. It was very obviously that I also needed a third person, because now that you can pick a character, a lot of people, I assume, would like to see himself, So, what did you say the name of the UI? It's behind that little. Okay. Would be useful for a project I'm working on. I'm using something called Doozy UI. It's a paid asset. Let me show you the dashboard. So, spelled like that. Doozy UI. So they have a lot of things, but the UI manager is the one I got. They have different other components you can get, but the UI manager comes with signals, for instance, which is a way of sending messages between UI and code and between UI and UI, and that's for instance some of the stuff, among other stuff, that broke between the old version and the new version. They built a new version. This version 4 is much more modular, and it's actually pretty cool. So that's also why I can now build the UI in a little different way. But anyway, so let me show you. So for instance here, I have a in the main menu here, I have a UI toggle group that is on this parent node here, and then I have tabs below, and each tab have a toggle group, and it have a target container. So this is basically the container that it enables and disables when it's selected, and that's all fine, except that that problem that, as you can see over here, that a UI tab have 5 different states, and that is what is causing the problems right now, as I understand it. So, as I understood on their suggestion, was to change this from a UI tab to a UI toggle. So let's try and do that. And I made it as a prefab, so let's go in here, and then I think I can maybe do something like this, toggle. And I can have both, yes, okay. So let's remove that and then have a UI toggle. So, states, we don't like that. What? That also have different states. Okay, I might need to read again what it was actually that he said, but let's just, because this is not enough, but because it's a prefab, now that I changed one, everything is changed. Oh, okay, I need to see what they wrote. Let's see. So do see UI here. This is actually public anyway, so I can show that. So I made a little video. Hello, Alex, and the rest of the do see UI. Oh, that's me. I don't know how many. But I'm basically just explaining that problem I just showed. Let's see. There's a lot of chat going on here. Yeah. What is your goal for the future? That's a pretty big question. Rosine, man, the next goal is to add multiplayer, increase the quality of the game with the UI and make it more stable, yada yada yada, and add more features, of course. But I'm only one dude, so one little thing at a time. We need allow reaction video. Yeah, I can react to my own video, reacting to my own video. But anyway, so here's it. A UI tab is a toggle or button, also selectable, and that has these states are maintained using the purpose. Yeah, that's what I'm saying. When I move over, it can do this because it's selectable. Yes, do it. One. Now to make this work in a visual way, you will use UI toggle. That's what I just did. UI toggle animators. You also have another component that use UI toggle as a controller. Okay, now I'm confused actually. Toggle. Your toggle related components. I don't understand because I'm looking here and I see a UI toggle and the UI toggle have these states. So I'm pretty sure we will have the same problem. But this won't work. can't even click it. Okay, maybe I was a little too fast. I thought I knew what to do, but apparently I didn't. How far can we get with the loud reacting to loud reacting to loud reacting to? Yeah, that's I don't know if how many of you know Danny as a guild developer, and he had kind of that became a thing on his channel where he was like, I can't even remember what he said. I can't even remember what he was saying, but then it became a video in where he said something, and then a video where he said the same, where he watched the video saying that, and then it just was like, you know, cascading out with videos and videos and videos of him saying the same. I just can't remember what it was he was saying. Anyway. Lau, do you enjoy doing UI? Well, I like it when it's done and it's nice, but it's not what I'm best at. I must say. And that's not the technical part. Yeah, one thing is I have a technical issue now, but getting stuff to look great, feel great, and be responsive and just UI niceness, that's a tough one. And you can spend so freaking long time on just tweaking stupid little things. So, yeah. I'm not using the UI toolkit. This is the normal. Actually, Doozy have a. From what they say, they have a pretty. They don't try to fight Unity, so they go with Unity, how Unity works, and they use all the building components. They just have these components on top of Unity's components. And it's actually, now I haven't even showed, but it's very easy to do nice animations when you're switching between stuff, and hover over stuff, get stuff to spin and all that. It's pretty performant, and it's really easy to do. Yeah, so that's pretty nice. So this is not UI toolkit. It's just a framework, not a framework. Something on top of how Unity works. Chocolate, how did you came up with the idea for Fireworks Mania? It was actually my oldest kid asking. Well, that's many years now since he asked that, but he asked me to help him find a game like this, and we tried to find one, and we couldn't find any. And at that time, I have already been making games in my spare time for like 10 years or something like that, maybe more. And then the more I thought about it, it was like, okay, it can't be that hard. Famous last words 5 years later, boom. But anyway, but then I just did a little prototype and showed it off, and they, both my kids thought it was fun, and then I was like, okay, maybe I could actually do this to a game that others would play, because they can't be the only ones who think it's funny. So yeah, that's how it started. And there's a video on, it's the top video or the presentation video on my channel here on YouTube. That video is from when I had been working on the game for 1.5 years, but that's like, is that 2 years ago or something like that? I don't know actually, but it's the video is fine enough, but it's also very old. Anyway, let me. Konako, hello. What did you miss? Everything. I just solved all problems, and then sadly I hit Control C, so I'm solved back again. Damn it. So now I have to do it all over again. No. I need to read this. What you have there, the UI tab, is actually a toggle with a few modifications. That toggle tab has 2 states on off. These are the ones you need to work with to achieve the correct effect you're looking for. But it have more than the on off. What he's referring to is that you can see, for instance, what they have here called a UI container have 2 states, show and hide, and that's really what I want. Whereas a tab up here have normal, highlighted, pressed, selected, and disabled. So no. Damn it, I was thinking this was a little easier. A UI tab or toggle or button is also a UI selectable. Yes, I know that. And that selectable has selectable states, blah blah blah. Yeah, these states are mainly used for reactive purposes. Yeah, the user moves over the mouse, blah, blah, trigger highlight state, blah blah. In the UI system, there can be only one selected item. That's why we've seen the problem. This means that any given point in time, only one UI selectable can be selected in selected state. The one you're using now. The one you're using now to show that the UI tab is on. Yeah, that's correct. Now, to make this work in a visual way, you will use the UI toggle animators. Oh, you also have another spin. Okay. You also have another specialized components that use UI toggle as a controller. Okay. For this light, okay. I think I got it now. Okay. Let's just roll that back. The power of having something in version control, source control. So rolling back, we are back to a tab. So, oops. So I think what he means is that I need to use the UI toggle animators instead of the highlighted. Okay, so you can see where is it? Where's the visual stuff? States, nope. Behaviors, nope. Where is yeah, okay, that's on. Okay. So yes, okay, so here we have a US selectable animator. Okay, so that's fine. So the bottom bar. Okay, so what if we have a UI toggle? Color animator. So yes, okay, so when it's on, this bottom bar is all white, and when it's off, it should be oh Gonako, woohoo, Unity feed. Now I can, now like what, 20 people can pirate the game and we have money for it. Joke aside, I don't know if you've seen it, Rob Lang, but these new Unity fee stuff, that's weird. It can get weird and unfair. Well, Rob Lang, the funny thing is about streaming, I don't know why, but I almost never stream when I'm doing stuff I know. And it's really stupid because I think the stream would be much better if I, you know, when I'm doing stuff that I know. But the problem is, in the state I am with the game, every time I know something, I fix that problem and then move on to something else I need to fix. And I don't know how to fix that. So I'm always in this, where I need to figure something out. But that is kind of 90% of game dev, really. I haven't gotten to that state where I'm just creating content yet, because I still have a lot of stuff I want to do. Anyway, so let's check here. So the toggle animator, when it's off, it should be, and now you can see how it works if I remove my little pretty face here. So when it's off, it should go to color, let's see, disabled. Can I copy it? I can't do that. Oh yeah, the alpha should be all off. Okay, so I can just say, okay, when this toggle, and the toggle that it's targeting is this bottom bar, and that bottom bar is this white thing in the bottom, and it's controlled by the main menu tab, which is this tab over here. So that's the current tab. When that is off, whoops, I want this, when it's off, I want this bottom thing to be transparent. Yes. And when it's on, I need it to be normal. So that should... I'm not exactly... Maybe I need to change some of... Or maybe remove this selectable... Let's see. What? Ah, okay. Yeah, okay. Sorry. Yes, okay. No. Oh, let's try. So that's selected. Because the thing is that it's also, and this is just to show off Doozy, it's connected both ways because it has this target container, and the target container also have a reference to the back. So when I, you can see now the play is selected. So if I go to the container of settings and press show, it changes the bottom to that one too. So that's all fine. But I don't like that. It shouldn't. So why is this happening? Is it because I'm fearing that it's because this one is interfering. So the settings here. So should I? Okay, wait. I think maybe I know what. Should I? I need to enable this, of course. So when it's on, it needs to be this, and then off, this one will kick in. Maybe. I'm still learning Doozy UI version 4 because it's new to me too, but I think I'm gonna like this way of having these components you can just add. Yeah, you should watch the videos. He have a lot of good videos on his channel. Damn it! Why is it not? So, shouldn't it be toggled on? Normally the idea with these UI, whatever color animator, is that you hook them up to something, and then when that happens, like on, then it do something, and off, it do something else. The problem here is that they might conflict. Okay, let's try something else just to see. Okay, I have another idea. Let's do a new bottom bar, and then let's call it toggle, just so we have it on that. Then we remove this and this one. So this is all set up for that top one, and we take this one and then we take it to the top and do that, and boom, boom, like that. So we have it in the top now. That doesn't really matter. And then we make it green just so we can see the difference. So this one, we want that to be, okay, it still needs that. Okay, color target. Oh, okay. So when it's on, it needs to be green. When it's off, it needs to be transparent. Let's see. Again, wild guess. I know this looks bad. Coming back to your question, Rob. You see, okay. So you see here now, I have play. Now when I click away, it stays like that. And if I go down to the settings and I do show, it switches to this one. Okay, so it is because it's the UI selectable is kind of overriding the UI toggle animation thing I've done. So that's why, and I still want this hover effect. That's fine. There might be a better way of doing it, but we could really just do like, if we're really lazy, we could do something like this, and then we could have so we could remove this, and we could remove this, and then we could say UI toggle color animator, and then we could this one and this one, and then we'll say when it's on, it needs to be like that. When it's off, it needs to be transparent. So, but I'm not sure I like this, because as you can see now I have two bars, but I think we will get the effect that we want. Must be a better way of doing that. Yeah, okay. So then the question is if I also want this background to be highlighted. Yeah, okay. But anyway, the effect is there. I don't know if you can see it, but now it actually stays. Well, that highlighting thing or that white background changes, we can fix that with the same approach. But now it actually stays selected here, so I know where I am. I could also leave it just like this, just having this underline to show kind of the breadcrumb. If you imagine that underneath here there might be another line with subcategories, like for settings there could be graphics, gameplay, blah blah blah. But as I said, I'm not super. I like having it up here, but I also don't want to spend screen space in this direction because I have more in this direction, so it makes more sense to have them over here. But that can also be a weird look, I don't know. Anyway, this solves the problem of that selected thing. Yeah, okay. Thank you, Amnesty. That's also, the old UI was basically made from it's kind of a prototype UI I did just to make it work, and then I just kept it simple with these line and pretty simple thing. I still want to keep it simple, but I want to keep it a little more like, you know, higher quality looking and feel. How it looks in ultra wide. Yeah, I know. I have one of my co-workers and friends are having a super wide screen, so he is always complaining when he plays, and I don't support it. Let's see, just for fun. So far I think it's fine. Actually the background videos should work. I think we can ultra no, that's not super wide. So what is the resolution of a super wide? Come with a, I don't know why don't they have that. Ultra wide. So what is the resolution? Rob, come with the super wide resolution. Let's see. Hitman does. I have looked at various games, like Rust and PUBG and stuff like that. I know the game is not like the same, but the UI, I need something simple, and yeah, I don't know. So what is an ultra wide resolution, guys? I can put in here and we can test it out. Just posted something in general chat for okay. The resolution wise, or what? Because if it's just a question, I don't have time right now. Yeah, new logo. Yeah, thank you. But I kind of like the current logo, and I already paid for that, so I'm sticking with that for a while. Let's see, but it looked pretty nice, pretty cool. Ultra wide. Let's see. Is that ultra wide? It's not. But as you can see, it works perfectly. And that is because the video, a little secret, is set to fit outside. Apparently, that's what you need. Then it fills up the entire screen. Of course, it's cropping it in when you get to a larger screen, but yeah. And also the video is actually scaled down because it's already blurred due to the effect on purpose, so you can't see all the details anyway. So therefore, the video is scaled down a lot. So, oops. Okay, okay. I have an idea of how we can fix it now, maybe. Still have it work. No. Yeah. So what is happening right now is that this bottom bar is blah 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 highlighted blah 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 blah. So pressed normal. No. It's the it's just I think it doesn't work because when I get away it's not selected, it's normal and then it's get back. But I can't have the normal to have that. What if I don't have any animation on normal and I don't have any animation on selected? Because then I would imagine that this one should then take over. And then maybe we could have it on the same. because the UI toggle animation is kind of taking over the on and off animation, and then I need the selectable states for the highlighted, pressed, and disabled. But I can't do that, as you can see, because then it's just having this underline all the time, which makes sense, because now this is shown all the time. But yes, and this one is not turning it off because it's the other one. Okay, let's try something. Copy component, and let's do like this, and do like this. Yeah, sorry, I know I. Playing a little bit fire here, I think, but let's see. I'm just thinking out loud. So, see now. Boom! So now I don't have that extra one, which is brilliant. So I still have to hover. No. Damn it. Yeah, okay. So what I'm basically getting at is that you need to be smart about how you use these things. Because I'm pretty sure this one maybe is it the order maybe? What if I order it? So this one, no, it doesn't work, because as soon as I go away from the tab, this one, when I unselect, it's still toggled on, but the UI selectable will trigger the normal state when I'm switching away. So that doesn't work. Okay. Okay. We can always play around with this, but for now I think I'll just do like this because that works. Yeah, you can yeah, I'm working on new UI. Let's see, and not selected. We have that one, but so normally it's not. Okay. Yes, I'm working on UI to make it more modern and make it more, yeah, so it's easier for me to add new UI. As you might have noticed, the UI have been kind of stuck on as it is for like a year or year and a half or something like that. I haven't changed a lot because it was fairly difficult. So I want to get into a state where I can easier change UI. UI is always weird to change when you have a localized game, because just a minor thing adds a new translation text for like X amount of languages. So you have to be a little careful or think about what you do. Okay, I think I can live with this. I think it's pretty cool. I think maybe this white thing. So maybe it shouldn't have this content thing we have here. So when it's selected, it shouldn't have any animations, because I think we will use that from the other one. So no. Oh yes, yeah. So when I click it, okay. No, that doesn't work either. And now you can see these UI things that just takes like a million years because then you're like, oh no, it shouldn't be that, it shouldn't be that, blah blah blah. Pressed. Selected, pressed. So it's pressed and becomes darker. Highlighted, it's this whiter color, and then selected, it becomes very light. But then when it's not selected, it goes back to, it goes back to default color. Which is fine. But maybe the selected state should be that too. Let's see. So selected now is the same, but it have this bottom bar thing from the UI toggle thing. Yada 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 yada. Not easy. We're going to rotate that camera in the background. Rotate the camera. Thank you, Racing Man. That might be better. Why is it? And you can spend a lot of time tweaking this thing, but the main thing was we need that breadcrumb to stay there when I click away, and that works now. So let's check that in. Fixed issue. Main menu, top tab, not showing as boom. Okay, let's see the chat here. So when are you going to rotate that camera in the background? I'm still not sure what you mean about that. Okay, hear me out. We need to add a tab called blueprints. What has that to do with the camera being rotated? That way we can load workshop items from homepage in blueprints section. Not sure what you mean. Blueprints doesn't really make sense in the main menu as of right now. It could only be in the future. Let's say you maybe could share your blueprints on Mod.io, for instance. Then it might make sense to have some UI in the main menu to kind of, put that up, because that will require some UI for a screenshot and for some text and yada yada yada. But the blueprints is not the main focus right now. It's getting UI stuff ready and then get some better multiplayer stuff. But the reason I'm also working on the UI now and not I'm also working on the multiplayer. As you can see, I have these characters and third-person view and all that stuff. But I'm waiting on some response from Unity because I'm kind of in a limbo with something, an issue with in-scene networked objects. But I won't get into that because it's too technical and really you shouldn't care. But I like this, and this took the entire hour. I was actually hoping we could move on to just parts of the player UI, but that's a big one because I have to change everything. Basically right now the game UI is one prefab with a lot of stuff in it. I would like that to be a little different and have different controllers for different controller components for each thing. It's not like I have one controller. Each view in the UI have its own controller, but yeah, I want to make it a little easier to maintain. For players like you couldn't care less, other than hopefully it's faster being updated and changed and fixed and stuff like that. Yes, dog right here. Okay, you can see him. He's there. And as you can see, I also have a big ball in the background because I did something with my back, so I'm sitting on that sometimes during the day. Yeah, I don't understand that either, Rob Lang. And I was in a dialogue with this Noel guy on the Unity NGO issue list there, and he was very good and gave me some my actual issue I created on the GitHub was to get the documentation updated with a sample that showed in-scene networked object with the custom scene management, because that is where the problem arises when you have to do it yourself. So that was actually my question for them to update the documentation, not necessarily a working sample, but just, you know, when you get to custom stuff, custom scene management and in-scene, when you get into that, I assume that the developer looking into it is kind of, you know, what's it called, skilled. So yeah, a nice working sample could be fine, but really I just needed some input of how I should approach it, what list is it that I need to fill out with what and stuff like that. And he gave me that, but the problem is I can't make it work. Even in a simple sample, I can make what he showed me work, so it doesn't work. So now latest I have asked him if they can provide a super simple sample, basically just updating the sample I have made. They could do a pull request to that, or they could copy it and make a new one, or just a simple sample having an in-scene network object with custom scene management, and then have that load on the client and host. That just one prefab, one in-scene network object, which obviously have to be a prefab. That's fair enough, but anyway. But I haven't heard from him for weeks. In the beginning it was very fast, but then it was slowed down. I don't know if he's waiting on somebody to make this sample, or I don't know. Okay, about the fireworks going off in the background. One thing I have changed actually also in the new UI is in the old UI, what you saw in the background behind the menu was actually 3D rendered a small part of the town, or the city, sorry. And then of course I deleted stuff that was outside the camera, so it was faster to load and render and all that stuff. But still it took longer to load, because the game actually had to load these assets and actually render them in the background. I haven't done any measurements yet, but I'm pretty sure this one is much simpler, because this is just okay, I can show it now, because what you see in the background here is just a video with an overlay on top of it. So, you know, it's just a video, and that also means I can do other various stuff. Right now it's just a little looping video of the guy standing here and watching this fireworks, but I can do all kinds of stuff. So this performs better because I don't have to render all that. That also means I can't, you know, dynamically move the camera around, but I wasn't doing that anyway. So yeah, it will make sense if I have a UI where if you click something, the camera, you know, moves to another spot and blah 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 blah, but it doesn't do that anyway. So I think this is better, and also from a performance point of view, the more we do here in the main menu, like the workshop and stuff like that, I want, you know, all the performance to go to the UI and not to render the background that you can't see anyway behind this big UI. And, you know, the workshop will become more and more, hopefully, complicated. So we need more resources to that and less to render a background you can't see anyway. So that's why it's changed to a video. Do you already know when the update is coming? No, as you can see here, it's not working that well right now, because the UI is not working at all in the game. And there's tons of more stuff to it than just the UI here. The thing I talked about before with the in-scene network objects, I need that to work for us to be able to play in the normal maps. As you might have noticed, all the maps that we played in the open alpha and that we are testing now is either custom maps or the flat map. And the reason for that is that none of them have in-scene network objects. And an in-scene network object, what is that? That's basically the UI is not working here. Is just like okay, it's not even a good sample here, but let's say there was a box in the scene right here, or a trash can like we have in the town. Right now, the NGO, the way I'm using it, because I need to load stuff dynamically, I cannot make that network enabled. So I could put a trash can in here and everybody would see that trash can that joins the game. But if I move that trash can, nobody else than me would see the trash can being over here. Everybody else would see it here until they moved it somewhere else. And then we have a totally out of sync very quickly game. Because then we have 5 trash cans and everybody would have their own, and this guy is standing on the trash can and the other guys can't see that trash can, so he's just flying around. So yeah. Yeah, same to you, Rob. I'm also shutting down in a moment because I need to make some dinner. But yeah. Let's see, this is now you can't see her from front, but yeah. So you can see we have some animation. I don't know what you have seen of that, but you see we have pretty cool animations, and I need to improve that because the crouch animation is not that good. But can you also fly across the map? Right now you can, again, this is work in progress, so this is not sure this will end up being like this, but as it is right now, if I could drop some explosive, you would be thrown by the explosion, so it would be pushed around up in the air and all that. And also right now only the host can do this. We could do that as setting, so everybody could do it if the host allows, but you can also teleport now around to move around, because people were asking for that so they can quickly test their maps and stuff like that. But it's not meant for something that everybody should do, because that would be weird. So it's only the host that can do this stuff right now. And the same goes, it could be a teleport. I could do a teleport to whatever player in the game, so you could quickly see what people are doing, blah blah blah. But anyway, there was a lot of talk about nothing, but this actually works, and I can spawn stuff and it syncs and it works in multiplayer and all that, so that's fine. I just can't do it right now because the UI doesn't work, because I broke it. Yes, Amnesty, you got your teleports. So yeah, but because I want to limit you somehow, I set it to 700 meters. I can't remember. You can't do it just like, you can't do it over here, but you can maybe do it over here. And it's also just so you don't end up in somewhere where you shouldn't be, or outside of stuff. But yep, but it is quicker now to get around, you know. If you want to go over here, and now I need to go back to the church, boom, and then we're back. But again, it's more like a admin modder feature. It's not something you should really use in the game. Yeah, currently there's no jumping animation. It's just like, yeah, she just jumps. So jumping is not, but you can see there is like sidewalk and cross and back. This one is not that good because I haven't, it's a blend tree, so there's not specific animation, but I might add that. So yeah, it's pretty cool. And you can also walk. And I just made a little button to quickly switch between the characters. Again, not meant to be like that. It's just for testing purposes. In the real game, you would hit tab, I guess, and then the inventory, and then we come back to the UI again, because the tab button will inventory, what you currently know as the inventory, what opens on the tab button, will have more stuff to it, I guess, over time, because you will also have where you can select what character you want, for instance, would also be in there, and some multiplayer settings and stuff like that. I actually end up in houses sometimes. Yeah, then you have to do your colliders correctly, and with you mean with the teleporter? I don't know, you can most likely get weird places. I think there in this map there is somewhere there is a I can't remember what it is. There is a there is kind of a tower or something, and that's not doesn't have colliders, so well, here it is. It wasn't actually that one, but I think this have the same problem. So no, that wasn't it. There is some kind of no, I don't know. But yes, you can get weird places with this, but that's also what I'm saying. It's kind of a debug tool. It's not like supposed to be a player thing. It's the same. And you remade the pause menu UI too? Yes, everything will be remade. I'm also actually thinking I want to try something else. If you remember, normally when you look at something and there's interactable, the text hovers over the object. I was thinking to change it so that instead of that hovering, because sometimes it could be a little jittery and fly around, I was thinking of changing the crosshair so that the crosshair change, to a different icon and some text when you can interact or when you can pick up and stuff like that, as it does in many other games. So it's nothing really new, but I think it would make that part of the UI a little less confusing to look at, really. Make an Among Us character. I'm pretty sure that modders will do that pretty fast. No, the part I didn't. Nothing works. Only the tooltips, I think. Nothing works right now. So nothing works, Monaco, in this current version that I have here, that nobody else have. Oh yeah, when I updated you do see none of it worked at all. Like everything. The console works because it's on its own component. It has nothing to do with the Doozy UI. But the thing is that Doozy changed. They redid a lot of stuff. So all the places I had something called UI view or UI button, UI blah 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 from the old version, that's gone in the new version. They are called the same, but they are put in a different namespace and a different assembly and stuff like that. So yeah, everything broke. But again, and also their messaging system is now changed to be something called signals, and so there's been a lot of changes. But really, in this case, it was not a problem. How did you guess? You saw it here. Okay, you were quick. Yeah, okay, then we have some multiplayer testing too. Maybe you can spawn stuff because you are in. Oh, that's why you meant the UI view. Can you spawn something? I can't even see your name because you can see there's the UI again. You can see here his name should be over his head, but it's right down there because again, UI is broken. Yeah, and there's no sound because in the editor I don't load these sounds, so yeah. Actually, by the way, Unity currently have a problem. So normally it says 1 through 3, it says 2023, I think, on this one. But there is currently a problem in Unity that can't render particles on a mesh, yada yada yada. It means it can't show these numbers. But can you try and put down a lot of explosive and let's see how that works. Pro paint tanks. But actually, I just had a note from Unity that they fixed that. So that will be in the future, maybe the next version will have that fixed. So, but yeah, Amnesty, there's always bugs in. But Gonako, can you try and put down a lot of explosive and then let me fly up and let's see. Yes. Also, this UI apparently works. Can I pick it up? Oh, I can pick it up. Oh, I can ignite it too. Woohoo! Again, everything I can do without UI works. I can't even switch tool. Yeah, UI is broken. Okay, ignite that shit. This is also something new in the new version of multiplayer, that you are actually affected by explosive forces. So your character is moved, as you will see in a moment. So like that. Well, yeah, it works, but it works much better when the UI is not broken. But the UI is working. Uh-oh, police is coming. Small police is coming. What? Tiny policeman. But anyway, it actually works much better if you saw the version where I didn't break the UI. Beautiful. Oh yeah, and you can see the head is also, turning up and down. Okay, a little sus maybe, but yes. Police 1 and 2. But I think animation-wise, it looks like if you try and run around Konako, it looks pretty nice. I think the way he's running around. I've tried to minimize as much as possible that they slide over ground. They do a little, but I tried to match the speed. But you will also feel when you try this at some point, you will also feel that they are running much slower than they did in the old game. You need to get used to that, but really it just makes the world a little more... It is a little more realistic, you could say, running speed-wise, because the other one, he was very fast. The bean was very fast. You can't jump that high either. But that just gives the options for some more vehicles maybe at some point. But anyway, yeah, as Amnesty said, it makes the world feel more to scale. You can't sprint like 70 kilometers per hour unless you hack your way in. But for a normal game. But now I played with this for a while and I actually like it pretty much. I really like that you can't jump this high, you can't run that fast. Only thing I might add is kind of it would be nice to have some kind of sprint, because right now I'm running, I'm not sprinting. You know, he's if you imagine you just fired off, ignited some fireworks and you are running away from that, you wouldn't be like jogging like this. You would be running, sprinting, at least for a while. But it will then look like this when I'll be ready, that when somebody holds a lighter in their hand, it simply doesn't float in the air. I don't know yet. I hope to be able to make it so that they are actually having some kind of generic, I'm holding something in my hand position. I don't think ever it will be like totally fixed with fingers around whatever they're holding, because as you can pick up infinite amount of stuff, I'm not sure how to do that. And also it's also a matter of how detailed do you want this low poly silly fireworks games to be. You know, everything have a cost performance wise, like, you know, putting the feet correctly on the ground, so like he's like stepping on a stone. Is that really important in a fireworks game like this? I don't think so. But there's a lot of CPU cost to having these minor details, so I'm trying to pick out and do the minor details that make sense. But having, you know, an arm up where that is holding the stuff you're holding, it makes sense. That would be something, because it won't be 100% perfect, but I can do something so it's not like floating in the air like it is right now. So but it's not something I've focused on yet, as you can see. But again, the game actually works better than you see here right now. You see a version where everything is broken, UI wise at least. I can't do anything. And as you can see, it works for this other guy, which is actually Gonako. Can I get on top of that? No, is it done? It's done. Okay. But it will be fun when we run around 10-20 people in here with characters and all. I can't get up. So, but there's tons of stuff to do, and now I have to work. I have to go because I need to make some dinner, and but we got that UI stuff working, so that's good. It was a minor thing, but it's important because it was very annoying that it didn't select that, and now I already know more about how that works. So, yeah, I'm new to this new Doozy UI view, so Doozy UI version. So I also need to figure out how it is put together. But I really like the new version. It's pretty lovely modular actually. But again, the game UI is the most complex UI. So that is what I am working on now. And as you can see right now, it's not working. But before this state, it was just showing up everything, so you couldn't see anything, couldn't do anything. At least now it's hiding probably, and it's just not showing at the right times, which makes the game playable right now. And then I just do a little tiny step at a time, fixing and adding stuff. But that's it for now. Let's end off with this. Be right back. No, this one. Ending. With this little same background video that I'm using in the main menu right now. So yeah, that's it. Thank you for stopping by, and see you in the next stream. Bye bye.